welcome back to Lady Lovestead Reads. In today's video I'm going to share with you a pile of possibilities for a number of readathons that I'm super far behind on. If you're new here, welcome to Lady Lovestead Reads. My name is Jessica and I'm so glad that you are here. Today I want to share with you a pile of possibilities, which is basically like a loose TBR of books that I will potentially mood read in the coming weeks. And these are all based on readathons and book clubs and reading challenges that I have fallen woefully behind on. So if you saw my last video, you know that I'm going through it with some medical diagnosis. And then the day after I filmed that video, my precious dog Dinah passed. And I am just now feeling well enough up here to be able to come back to the land of the living. It's been a no good, very bad week. And so I haven't read anything in May so far, like zilch. I am in the middle of a couple of books, but like it has been really hard to even concentrate on what I'm reading, and it's starting to get easier. So I'm hoping that the rest of May will go a little better. I have here a pile of possibilities for several different readathons and a couple of book clubs and a reading challenge. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So first is Middle Grade Monthly, which is a book club focused on middle grade. And I am a couple months behind on these books. So Tristan Strong Punches a Hole in the Sky by Kwame Mbalia is this month's read. And then I am also wanting to still read a book pick from a previous month, which is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. There was one other book that they had picked out that just wasn't interesting to me. So those are the two that I do plan on reading still for the Middle Grade Monthly Book Club. I am behind again on A Touch of Whimsy, which is also a middle grade book club. And thankfully they are combining their May and June books into 2 months. So one book for 2 months, I can handle that, and it gives me a chance to catch up on the one that I am behind on, which is The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Blech. So those are the two book clubs that I am behind on. I stayed on track with the other book club I'm in, well, two other book clubs I'm in, which is the Fierce Woman's Book Club. So I stayed on track with that, and I have stayed on track with the Killing Time Cozy Mystery Book Club. So we're all good there. The new books for those are for the Fierce Woman Book Club. It's a book about Elizabeth Taylor. It's called Elizabeth. I can't remember the name of the author off the top of my head, but it'll be in the description box. And then the Killing Time is reading a book called Death Becomes Her. Also can't remember the author, but it'll be in the description box. All right, for my readathons, first we have the Asian and Pacific Islander readathon happening here in the month of May. For all these readathons, I'll link you to the channels that are hosting it or had hosted them. And for the Asian readathon, I have 5 books picked out. So the first one is Shark Dialogues by Kiana Davenport. Kiana Davenport is a Hawaiian writer who's really popular among Hawaiian readers, so I'm excited to read that. I actually learned about Kiana Davenport at a literary festival I attended last year online. It's like a virtual literary festival. Someone did a presentation on Kiana Davenport, and I asked the presenter what her favorite book was, and it was Shark Dialogues. So I immediately ordered it, and I just haven't read it yet. Next is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. The next one is The Buried Giant by Kazuo Ishiguro. This was gifted to me by a coworker, and that was like 3 years ago. Haven't read it yet. Next is How to Be a Boss by Lily Singh. Pachinko by Min Jin Lee. That's my pile of possibilities for the Asian and Pacific Islander Readathon. Next is the Disability Readathon. This was in April. Behind on it. So first is The Chance to Fly by Ali Stoker. This is a middle grade, and it also centers a character who uses a wheelchair. Exile and Pride, Disability, Queerness, and Liberation by Eli Clare. So this meets the prompt that was to read a book by a disabled trans author. Being Built Wrong by Alexa Simmons. This is one about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. It's on Kindle Unlimited, and this meets the prompt for read about your own disability. The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang, and Autism in Heels by Jennifer Cook O'Toole. Those two are both books that have been on my TBR for over a year, so that meets that prompt for the Disability Readathon. Next is Eurovisionathon, which is a readathon based on the Eurovision singing competition that happens in Europe. And I had 4 books picked out for that. Haven't read any of them, but will soon, hopefully, get to them. So the countries that I picked for this, I tried to pick from countries that I hadn't read anything from, and then kind of balance it out with like who I thought was going to win the competition, because like that's the point of the readathon, is you try to pick out a book from the country that wins the competition. So the countries I picked were the Czech Republic, Italy, Ireland, and the United Kingdom. So first, for the Czech Republic, I have Goethe by Katarina Tokova. For Italy, I chose If on a Winter's Night a Traveler by Italo Calvino. For Ireland, I chose A Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. This also helps me get back on track with my classics goal of reading 1 classic a month. I am 2 books behind, like 2 months behind on reading a classic. So this will help me get back on track with that. And then for the United Kingdom, I chose The Body in the Library by Agatha Christie. I'm also doing an Agatha Christie reading challenge this year, and I am 2 months behind on that. All right, and then the last readathon for today is Lit with Indian Lit, and the goal of this readathon was to read Indian Lit in translation. So this first one is cheating a little bit because I don't know that it's Indian Lit in translation, but it is A Change of Heart by Sonali Dev. The second book is Gachar Gochar by Vivek Shambhag. The third one is Cobalt Blue by Sachin Kundalkar. I'm so sorry if I am saying these names or pronouncing these names incorrectly. And then the last book is Chandra and Sudha by Dharamavir Bharati. So that's what I want to read for the Lit with Indian Lit. And that kind of catches you up on the readathons that I am behind on, but that I am still participating in. So these books will likely be read before the end of the year. I just haven't been able to get to them within the time frames that the readathons actually took place. But I'm still participating and still loving it. In June, I know there is the LGBTQIA readathon coming up, and I am starting to look at some possible reads for that because there's like a bingo board that you fill out for that one. So that's what's coming up for a future readathon that I'll probably fall behind on. And that'll do it for today's video. So let me know what readathons you've been participating in lately. And until next time, make sure to continue to read good books, drink good coffee, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye!